Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video where we'll be going over Leetcode problem number 586, which is customer placing the largest number of orders. So when we open up the problem, we'll see that we have a table named orders, and it contains two columns, one column named order number and the other named customer number. And we're expected to write an SQL query to find the customer number for the customer who has placed the largest number of orders. And then the test cases are generated so that exactly one customer will have placed more orders than other customers. So we won't have to worry about there being multiple maximums. And then if we go down to our test case, we'll see that there's 4 orders across 3 different buyers. So 2 buyers have 1 order, and then 1 buyer has 2 orders, and we're expected to return the buyer with 2 orders. When we first approach this problem, we'll see probably want to find a way to count how many orders each customer has made, which you can do through the count function. And you can pair that with a group by function just to get the count for each individual customer. So we can go ahead and do that because we're going to need that subset to pull our final select from. So we can just start off by doing a select. And we do want to keep the customer number because we're going to need that to pull for our final select statement. This is going to make use of nested select statements so that we can make a subquery and get the counts for how many orders have been made, and then we can pull from that using a second select statement, just plugging that into our from. So we'll do select customer number, and then we also want to do count. And what are we counting? We're counting customer number. So just the number of times that customer number comes up. So if we were to just do this with our from orders, what's going to happen is it's just going to count the number of customer numbers. So if we run it, we'll see that what's returned is just 4 because there's 4 rows in the customer number column. So this isn't really helpful, but the one thing that will make this very helpful for us in this particular case is a group by, which is just going to allow us to group it by a column, and then it'll count based on each distinct value in that column. So we're just going to group by customer number. So now each time there's a distinct customer number, so 1 will get its own count, 2 will get its own count, and then 3 will get its own count. So now if we run this, we'll get something a lot more like what we're looking for. So we get customer number 1 has 1 instances where they ordered something. Customer number 2 has ordered 1 thing, and then customer number 3 has ordered 2 things. So by the looks of it, we have the basic table that now we want to use to pull from, because we just want the customer number where it's the max. So if we knock this down, and then we're just going to nest this with another select statement. So we're just going to do select, and then all we want to return from this one is the customer number. And then we also want to do from. And in this case, we're going to do from this select statement, but each table has to have its own name, so we have to name this table, this little subtable that we've created. And you can just do that by putting some delineation beside of it that you want it to be named as. And what we can do here is just anything you want. So I'm just going to do C for count table, or A, just a delineation. And then also I want to update this because I don't want to have to type this for anything in the upcoming problem. So I'm just going to do as, and then I'm going to do orders, because that's how many orders they have placed. So now that we have our count function renamed to orders, we can now call it using that new keyword. So now we got to think about how we're going to return this greatest value. So in this case, it makes sense to me just to use a order by statement, which is just going to allow us to select how we're going to have these values returned to us. So you can do ascending or descending. And in this case, we want the highest value, so you can do descending. So we're going to do order by, and then we're going to do the number of orders. So we want to do this. So we want to order by orders, descending. So this would put the 3 at the top, and then, or this will put the count 2 at the top, and then we're going to say limit. And this limit function is just going to, we're going to put in a value and it's going to limit how many results are returned to us. So we could do limit 2 if we wanted the top 2 customers based on orders, or in this case, we can do a 1 because we only want the customer number with the highest items. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and if you found this code helpful, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more Leetcode problems in the future. And then if you would approach this problem in a different manner, or would like to suggest a problem that you want me to do next, please leave that down in the comments below and I'll get back to you with a video. I'll see you next time. Thank you.